Say, is that guy floating in the air? Excuse me, are you Goku? Do I know you? No, but I've heard about you. I've wanted to spar with you for quite some time. I've also qualified. I hope I'm lucky enough to challenge you. Of course, I have no delusions of beating you. I just want to see how strong you are. May I shake your hand? Huh? Ah, pleased to meet you. Just like the rumor said, you have a fine spirit. Huh? Well then, we'll go in first. What is up guys, BlackScape here, and let me ask you a question. When you first saw Shin, or the Supreme Kai from Universe 7, in your childhood on the Dragon Ball Z anime or the manga, did you think that he was a lot stronger than what he ended up being, or were you just thinking that he was mysterious or just kind of interested in what his backstory was? Because this creator had an entire video talking about the fact that this is the biggest fraud in Dragon Ball Z, and today we're going to be talking about it because I don't think that's the case. And if you know exactly what I'm going to say and the reason that I am going to be defending the Supreme Kai in this video, let me know what the reason is in the comment section below, and then stick around the video, see if you got it right. And as always, before I begin, huge shout out to the Black Squad. You guys are here day in and day out. You guys are the backbone of this channel. You guys are awesome. Anybody who's new and wants to join the Black Squad, hit that subscribe button, join the family. Let's go ahead and jump in. I may be mistaken, but might you be... Excuse me? Aren't you Kaio-sama? No, I'm afraid you're wrong. He's the Kaioshin. Kaioshin? Please keep this quiet. I prefer nobody know my identity yet. Kaioshin? I've heard rumors that he's above Kaio, which would mean that he's the god of all Kaio. What's wrong, Piccolo? Was he being stuck up? I'll talk to him for you if you want. No, don't do anything. Huh? Kaioshin? Even I've never met him. Why has he come to Earth? So the creator of this video right here, I'm gonna leave a link to the video in the description below. He basically went on and said that the Kaioshin, at least when we first saw him, is somebody that was advertised as something extraordinary, an amazing warrior, a huge threat, and then was a complete letdown. And that's something that has been carried over to Dragon Ball Super, as we see every single person disrespect the Supreme Kai. Nobody really respects him, while in the Dragon Ball Z Buu saga, even after this moment, even after finding out how strong Goku and the Z Squad were, he still had moments to shine where he helped out, Gohan, where he even helped out in the alternate universe and saved Trunks. Like, this is stuff that the Kaioshin did, but again, this is how he was advertised in this moment. Now, the creator really wasn't talking about the manga source. I went back to the manga source because that's the original source for what is going on in Dragon Ball Z. And just to be fair, in the anime, similar to what he said, like this scene right here, he was basically shown as being like extremely badass, and it felt like he was extremely important. The music was strong, and he just had such a badass demeanor of him to the point where even Piccolo didn't want to fight him. And Piccolo didn't know why he didn't want to fight him in the anime, but did he do the exact same thing in the manga? Let's go ahead and see. On the second fight, Shin versus Ma Jr. I see. This looks like fun. Both warriors step up, please. This is Shin's first time here. On the other hand, Ma Jr. put up an excellent final round battle years ago. Finally, we're going to see what this mysterious guy is made of. Why am I so hesitant to attack him? I've never even met him before. What in the world is he? You'll find out very soon. But for now, let's enjoy the game. I'm sorry. I forfeit. You forfeit? You're not going to fight? Correct. I see. He's the guardian of this world. He's starting to piece things together. Is he strong, Piccolo? Yes. The difference between us is too great. Okay, so this is a very similar, if not almost identical scene to what happened in the anime. And I feel like I can correctly describe what's going on here with 2 points of view in mind. The first one being that Akira Toriyama is writing Dragon Ball Z, and so he knows the direction, at least some of the chapters are going to go after this, and so he knows the importance of the Supreme Kai. and what it means to the Dragon Ball Z story. And the second point of view is essentially I am going to have the explanation work that Akira Toriyama knew what Dragon Ball Super was going to be, and so he basically wrote the story like that around this moment with the Supreme Kai. Because if you think of it that way, you realize what huge importance the Supreme Kai has on all of the Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball Z. But that is not how Akira Toriyama wrote this, because he did not know he was making Dragon Ball Super. But at the exact same time, if you just take the story for what it is, if it's just one continuous story, it makes a lot of sense why Piccolo does not want to fight the Supreme Kai. Akira Toriyama makes the importance of the Supreme Kai huge here because the Supreme Kai is essentially the leader of the Kaioshin. The Kaioshin being the deities of the afterlife. There's a bunch of them, and then there's this guy, and they're all strong, but they have warriors that train under them that are much stronger than them, but they hold an importance in the hierarchy of essentially deities. And that would mean that the Supreme Kai, his hierarchy is huge. And that is something that Piccolo knows about, and he feels it and feels the importance of such an important and high level being on the planet. I mean, King Kai was also shocked that this guy was there. He's never even met him. On top of that, it shows us the next level of where Dragon Ball is going, and that is beings that are basically immortal. They're deities. It's the other world. Like, that's the direction that Dragon Ball goes after this and opens that floodgate. Like, if you really think about it, the Supreme Kai is that opening. You would think King Kai would be. No, Supreme Kai is the connection to everything else, including Majin Buu and everything that comes after. You would say that Dragon Ball Super is kind of built on the Supreme Kai and who he is and the importance of him. But to stick with just the Majin Buu arc and what comes after this moment, he's literally the focus of the story with Majin Buu. And really, if you think about it, how all the Z Fighters get kind of power-ups throughout this series with the Potara rings and the Elder Kai, and the Elder Kai unleashing all the hidden potential of Gohan, like, he is extremely important. Now, the second take, if you look at Dragon Ball Super and just the story in general, like, I believe that if you take this look as to why Piccolo would not fight him, is not only because Piccolo can feel his presence, because as they're talking, Piccolo doesn't really know him, but he feels something because Piccolo was the deity and he can feel it. And he was the deity of Earth, and he knows that this guy has some sort of divine key inside of him. That's what he's feeling. He's feeling how powerful the divine key is, and the Supreme Kai may not be stronger than Piccolo, but again, he is on a completely different level when it comes to his importance in the universes, as well as he has a lot of different abilities that he can use to make people stronger and also to, you know, make himself stronger as well. So it's not like Piccolo is scared of fighting the Supreme Kai. It's more that he won't because of his level. But if you take it one step further, if Piccolo's hunch is that this guy is the Supreme Kai, if you take a look at the story, he would think that this guy, if he is the Supreme Kai, he's connected to Beerus, the god of destruction, and if he kills the Supreme Kai, then he basically offs the god of destruction, meaning that they would have to find a new god of destruction, meaning that they would have to figure out who killed the Supreme Kai, or who beat him up, and that would be Piccolo. So even though I really agree that he was kind of overhyped and I wanted more from him in the Buu arc, because I got a good amount but not enough, and I didn't like the fact that he was surprised how strong everybody else was and he really wasn't physically strong himself. When it comes to the context of what he brings to the table and the hierarchy and the world he opens up and his connection to Beerus and everything like that, I feel like it's appropriate to give this moment a huge amount of weight, and the manga and the anime both do that by making him so important, and the focus on him is extremely important, and that's something that is appropriate in my opinion because of how powerful, I mean, just his status and who he is actually is, not just his physical strength but his aura, so to say. But anyway, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of this and my explanation. I would like to hear your explanation. This is going to be BlackScape signing off. Take care, guys.
Subscribe for more content. Or perish.